Jessica, Jack, and Noah are just some of the 20 kids that will be buried in Newtown this week. The loss of so many children seems to be a tipping point in the debate over gun control. A CBS News poll taken after the shootings Friday finds more than half of Americans, 57%, think gun control laws should be more strict. That's the highest number in a decade. At the same time, when asked about what happened in Newtown, 66% said stricter gun laws would have had little or no impact on preventing that from happening. Joining us from Washington, Juana Summers, reporter for Politico. Juana, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you this morning. The president talking to the vice president and several members of his cabinet about gun violence and gun control. Out of that meeting, out of that discussion, did we get any indication on what the president might be proposing to prevent a tragedy like this from happening in the future?
Well, there's no question that what happened in Newtown, the school shooting in Connecticut, has touched quite a nerve in Washington among politicians, including the president himself. And our sources tell us he seems more willing than ever before to attach some of his own political capital as he heads into his second term in the Oval Office to this issue. Now, the issue of gun control, of bans on assault weapons, not one he's really touched in his first term in Congress. Our sources tell us that he's likely to approach that again as there is increasing mounting pressure on him from the public to do something about this issue in the wake of yet another tragedy.
And besides the president, even if we talk about Congress, several members now coming out and saying it is time to talk about gun control and gun violence. Do we have a timeline or a timetable here of when we might see legislation actually hit the floor?
Well, we're obviously in a lame duck session now. The lawmakers are grappling with the fiscal cliff with sequestration, which still looms. We're just a few days away from Christmas. This is most likely to take shape sometime when the 113th Congress heads into session in January, likely not in the last couple of days of 2012.
Senator Joe Manchin, he is a Democrat, a pro-gun Democrat from West Virginia, also coming out talking about gun control and gun violence. He's one of the unlikely characters to do so. Have we heard anybody come out from the other side?
What has been really fascinating about this debate is that you're seeing people who have been backed, have the A ratings from the National Rifle Association, from the gun lobby, and they're saying enough is enough. We have to do something different and look at these gun laws. As the president noted in his speech on Sunday, this is the fourth time during his administration that there have been these Oval Office speeches, these entreaties to grieving families over gun issues. So we are seeing people like Joe Manchin, like Marco Rubio in Florida, like late now Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid saying he is now evolving on this issue. So there's certainly some people he would not expect coming out and saying we must do more and we must make this a legislative priority in the upcoming year.
Then there are the fiscal cliff negotiations. House Speaker John Boehner offering another proposal to the White House. It includes raising tax rates on households making over $1 million a year. The question now that a lot of folks are asking, what made him break?
The latest proposal we have coming from the White House to Obama, the president and House Speaker John Boehner met on Monday, is raising tax rates for the wealthiest Americans. That's those making over $400,000. House Speaker John Boehner's aides tell us that's a move in the right direction, but they still feel that this new offer, a $2.4 trillion offer, does not exactly reconcile revenues and spendings. They still want to see more spending cuts. So we're moving in the right direction, but there is a very limited time frame for making movement on this fiscal cliff, for averting that, for avoiding sequestration. So the sides are still moving closer, but we're not quite there yet.
So, you know, Juana, we're on a timetable here. A lot of folks have said if we don't come to a deal by this week, it will not happen before the end of the year. Do you see promise in that potentially happening?
Well, there's always some promise. I'd like to consider myself an optimist, but with a shortened timetable, it's Tuesday now. You have until Friday, essentially, that something would have to happen just for practically this kind of legislation to move through both chambers of Congress, and realistically have a chance of making impact before December 31st.
Juana Summers, reporter for Politico, joining us this morning. Juana, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.